Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
This is Newcap News with Annika Notveit.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. 2 Lloydminster residents are facing drug charges after police found meth and fentanyl in their vehicle during a traffic stop. RCMP say last Thursday around 5:20 p.m. they pulled over a vehicle in the 4700 block of 50th Avenue. They found 10 grams of meth, 7 fentanyl tablets and $6,000 in cash. 33-year-old Dustin Caplet and 29-year-old Joylene Wildeman are facing trafficking and possession charges. They have been released on bail and returned to court November 3rd. The 3rd Annual Economic Partnership Summit began in Lloydminster today, aimed at connecting local businesses and industry leaders with Indigenous communities. The summit discusses best practices, business models, as well as examines successful partnerships. Nicole Stilger reports.
The Indigenous Economic Partnership Summit returned with one goal in mind: to make relationships with a relatively untapped workforce. Chairman of the Alberta Construction Association, Dave Kinley, is attending the summit for the first time and says he's looking to inform himself and make those relationships for future projects.
As the relationships start to form, there's a great opportunity in the construction end of things. Hopefully more and more businesses will get involved in business relationships with the Indigenous community.
First Nations entrepreneurs and panel speakers Helen Oro and Mary Lou Mintram were hopeful that the summit would also inspire the Aboriginal youth to show them that anything is possible.
Just being able to share our story to the youth today was really inspiring, and to hear the positive feedback, them leaving and coming and hugging us and telling us how inspirational we were.
If you have a dream and you have an aspirations to take up the entrepreneurial spirit, then do it. You know, it's a really good opportunity to dream big.
Mintram adds that the summit was the perfect opportunity for youth to get informed, which she says is the first step in the right direction.
There was a lot of youth in that room today, and really attentive, asking questions, wanting to know more about, what resources, actually asking what else can I do.
The summit was also aimed at educating First Nations people on what they can expect when they enter the workforce and how they can stand out. Nicole Stilger, Newcap News.
Young people have the ability to bring positive change to communities, and there's no better time to invest in youth empowerment than now. The Lloydminster My Home Project Committee plans to launch a positive youth development initiative, as well as establish a local youth council. Hannah Tita has more on that story.
I feel safe. I am a good investment.
The YYL My Home Committee has applied for a $15,000 Aviva Community Fund. Lauralee Marin has done research around youth councils that have been successful in other communities and wants youth to engage in making a meaningful difference here in the border city.
Showing them how to identify issues that are important to them and helping them move those issues forward, whether it's in changing policy like our youth did with the ban on flavored tobacco, or whether it's, improving the number of people that wear helmets when they're riding bikes.
The grant would also allow them to invest in youth by providing them with skills they need to be successful in life through the Positive Youth Development Project. Marin says it doesn't matter your position in the community, you can still participate in building our youth.
Often youth feel like they're not a valued part of our community, and what we want to say to them is we value you and we're going to make that investment in you so that the future is bright for all of us.
Lloydminster My Home Project Committee will be partnering with public and Catholic schools on the initiative. Students from grades 9 to 12 will be able to apply to be part of the Youth Council. You can visit avivacommunityfund.org to vote daily for the project until October 23rd. For Newcap News, I'm Hannah Tita.
The human eye is a part of the body allowing us to see the world we live in. Unfortunately, like any body part, they are prone to infections and diseases. In this week's Healthy Living, Chris Chacon visits a new optometrist office that is working to improve eye care for the residents in the border city.
Our eyes are extremely important. They allow us to see the road when driving or even when we're simply reading a book. Although not all of us have perfect vision, having healthy eyes is important.
Eye health is extremely important for everybody. Children, adults, seniors, absolutely everyone.
Children that are of 6 months of age are recommended to see an optometrist in order to catch any problems.
We see them on a yearly basis up until they're about age 18. And then from 18 to 65, we see everybody every 2 years unless needed before then.
Checkups are a key factor in determining whether you have or are already developing an eye disease.
The biggest eye diseases that we see, especially with our aging population, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and cataracts.
Glaucoma is a silent blindness. You don't really notice anything that's going on until it actually happens.
Glaucoma damages the eye's optic nerve, and if left untreated, it can lead to permanent vision loss. This is just one of many diseases that can lead to blindness. Krisha Khan, Newcap News.
Well, the annual Lloydminster Alpaca Showcase is on again this weekend at the Lloyd X grounds. Over 100 alpacas from 4 western provinces will be on display, with the top breeders seeking the judges' approval. Gerard Lampau gives us a preview in this week's Agriculture Report.
The exciting thing about the alpaca industry now is that the fiber industry, which is their reason for being, is really starting to develop and grow.
Native to South America, alpacas have been coming to Canada since 1992. Unlike sheep's wool, their fleece does not have lanolin, which works well for allergy sufferers wanting a soft sweater to stay warm in winter. On Friday, fleece judging will be the first order of business.
So the fineness and the uniformity of fineness, the weight of the fleece is important because the fleeces are purchased on weight. And then a number of other characteristics, including the brightness, the crimp, the density, and the hand of the fleece.
Over the weekend, the Lloyd exhibition grounds will be teeming with people, and specifically the Alberta building where the annual Alpaca Showcase is on again for another year.
We have good representation across the country, and the competition is going to be really strong.
On Saturday, the judging continues from 9 a.m. with the halter show.
So the alpacas come into the ring and compete in age and color categories. They're also divided by sex. So males compete against one another and females compete against one another. And then once all the classes have been judged, the regular classes have been judged on Saturday, Sunday the judging will begin again with the champion classes.
These include the most prestigious prize of the weekend, the Get of Sire Award.
The importance in breeding, in any breeding program, is to have a male that is producing offspring with very good qualities. And so 3 offspring from a particular herd sire come into the ring and compete against other groups of 3.
The showcase will also have trade booths set up, and it's free and open to the public all weekend. Gerard Lampau, Newcap News.